my channel. Today I'm at Cape Coast. It's in Ghana, next to the coast. I stayed at this place back here just for the night yesterday, and my aim today is to visit the Cape Coast Castle, which is there, learn about slave trade. Now I'm just gonna walk to the castle and see what's there. And I'm gonna be walking in my shoes because I'm not gonna wanna, it looks too hot. But it's so lovely. Yeah, so I just got stopped by this guy over here to appear in a music video, I think, and I said yes, which is kind of weird, but I don't know, but they seem sweet. There they are, they're making their video. Hello, what's your name?
Sapianto, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sapianto. You can find me at Facebook also, you know. Yeah. I'm a musician and I do sewing, also African wear, backpacks. Yeah, you know, I'm a designer too, you know. So yeah, welcome inside Cape Coast, you know.
Yes. Alright.
See, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. Bye.
How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah, Kenya.
Where you from?
I'm from Kenya.
Kenya.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kofi. What's your name?
Phyllis.
Phyllis?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you spell it?
PHI.
Wait. I just want to show you.
But no, don't write it on my, because
No.
I'm not gonna take one of it.
No, I just don't know the spellings.
So this was a male dungeon, and it has 5 chambers. And the chambers, this one is excavated. You can see the ground, but the ones that aren't, they are filled with like the feces, urine, and vomit, and any body, anything you excreted was here. One of these was stored like around 200 people, and they would get water and food through that hole up there. And those small windows were barricaded with bars so they wouldn't escape. And when it rained, the feces and everything else would be washed away with the tunnels. And so it's excavated such that this is how it looked like. You can see the difference. This is the floor, but this here is the feces, or like the wall next here. And it's really inhumane what these people went through, what these diseases or normal bodily function. They did it here, and there were 200 people. And the irony is, just above us is the Anglican Church, where they used to worship and preach the word of God and preach love. And it's just one of those things that it's so lucky. So when the British decided to abolish slave trade, the door was below here. So this room is more lit because it's their fifth, and so they check their mark. It's like keeping stock of who has gone out and who's still left. And they used to, after the door was here, then they were taken to the door of no return. But they barricaded this door in the 1800s when they decided to abolish slave trade. And here people live tribute. And this is a shrine that was built afterwards, because the castle was built on top of a rock that they used to pray in. So they built this shrine afterwards to remember that rock, and also they performed some traditional ceremonies there.
So no food, no water, and no ventilation. He stays until he dies. So the idea was to kill the captive, but he dies slowly and painfully. They use him to set an example to the others in the dungeon. So the freedom fighters, they were killed in the condemned cell. And one thing, when the captive dies, what the British did was they'll bring all the other male captives out of the dungeon to sit at the courtyard. The dead body is taken out for the others to see. So that way you put some fear in the others, so that they also come. The male condemned. So, That is Fort William. The British built it. They had soldiers stationed there. Their job to spy around, to look for enemies coming to. That was not like.
So this was the bedroom for the governor. And this was the living room for the governor. You can see how much of a nice view was. But we have just been told that the cell was this size and it would hold like 200 prisoners. So you can compare one man to this room and a dungeon down there, 200 men. So this was the way of no return. It's where they would carry the slaves out, and the door is the door of no return. And we will put
It was a small and narrow door. They had to go down to walk out. Changed later into this big one. The name is very symbolic.
So these people were taken into ships just there, and unfortunately for them, like us who just go back, they never got the chance to go back, and they were all slaves. Nobody came in willingly or came out willingly.
This was it. When they bring the Africans out.
In 2019, some bones of the slaves who had been taken away 400 years earlier and died where they were enslaved were brought back to Ghana through this same door, and it was then nicknamed the Door of Return, and that year was called the Year of Return. Coming to such places, it's always kind of, you never really know how to feel, because they've got a lot of dark history, but we also want to learn from that history. So that door, these dungeons where women and children were kept, and whether they're going through their menstrual periods or going to the toilet, they do everything there. They've got really tiny windows like there, but they had metal in them so that they don't escape. And there is a punishment room that when a woman refused to be raped or to give in to rape, they would be punished there without food. And there is a men's cell that we saw where there is no ventilation, they're not given water or food, and they're just left there to die. And all this was happening it was very inhumane, but we need to learn from it and make sure that that never happens, because nobody deserves to experience such a thing. And that's why we come to such places, that no matter how bad you feel about it, it's not something we can erase, and it's not even good to forget. We need to keep remembering what happened to make sure it never happens again. And that is the point of all this. And on that note, that ends my tour of the castle itself. You've seen the dungeons. Most of the other rooms are storehouses. The dungeon is over there, which is ironic because the dungeon is actually below the church. So there was an Anglican church on top of the dungeon, which is, yeah, it's a lot. But that was back then. And for today, all we can do is make sure that those things never happen again. There you go.